Hey everyone, Levi here with Trident Fly Fishing, and today we're going to be tying a synthetic clouser. This is a variation of the super popular Clouser Minnow designed by Bob Clouser. We're going to tie it with some synthetics. It gives a similar profile to the fly as you would with bucktail, but there are a couple of differences here, and I think it makes for a more durable fly, and you also get a little different action out of the SF blend. So let's get started with a Tiemco 811S hook in the vise, size 1/0, and we're gonna run some unimono right down the shank. We're using 4/1000 diameter for this. So pop that excess off and get a nice base laid down. Doesn't need to be super clean or anything. We're just gonna get that thread started. And now we're gonna bring our thread to about one eye's length behind the eye before we come in with some double pupil lead eyes. These are a size medium color chartreuse. It's gonna contrast our fly nicely. You can use any color eyes you like. This isn't a hard rule. So we're getting in there with some figure 8 wraps, really lock it in, and then we're gonna hit it with some helicopter wraps and get that nice and situated. I have some handy, so I'm gonna get in there with a little liquid fusion to really lock those eyes in. Get it on the top, the bottom, wherever you want. All right, so from there, I'll run my thread back and forward just one last time to sort of trap any of that adhesive that may have gotten loose while I was gluing the eyes in. And we're gonna move right into some white SF blend. This is got some nice flash mixed in there. Pull ourselves off a bit, maybe a little more. And I'm gonna fold it over and clip it in the middle just to sort of maximize the amount I have. This isn't a super long fly, so I can get away with doing that. I pre-tapered it here just by pulling these ends out, and you'll see it comes to a nice point or a taper. I'm gonna cut this flat so that it's easy and clean to tie in, and we're gonna tie that in right in front of your eyes. Lock that in, and then advance your thread just behind those eyes, and we're gonna lock this on right on the hook shank. Bring it all the way to where the hook bends, and that's fine. I'm gonna get in there with my bodkin real quick and just make sure my fibers are all going the same length or the same direction. Hit it with a little liquid fusion. This is a idea. Dave Skoke originated it, and Captain Ian Devlin out of Connecticut is a big proponent of it, but I'm a huge fan of it as well, especially with these synthetics. Just a little liquid fusion there, and that prevents fouling whenever you're casting. Easy solution to a very annoying problem. All right, so now that we've got our tail tied in, let's go ahead and move into some flat diamond braid, color pearl. I'm gonna tie this in just behind these eyes. As always, I'll hit it with a loose wrap and just pull it until you're happy with it. And then wind our thread back, and we can bring it right up front again. Now we're gonna wind this braid side by side, nice close consecutive wraps. This is gonna A, provide durability, and B, it's going to just increase the look of your fly and make it a little more appealing. If you have a rotary vise and want to use that function, now's a great time to do so. Otherwise, like I'm doing, you'll kind of be fighting your bobbin a little bit. So let's get this wrapped all the way up the shank, just behind those eyes, and then we'll tie it off. And all the materials that we're using today can be found at tridentflyfishing.com, and orders over $49 ship for free. This is one of those flies that you can take pretty much everywhere and catch fish. It's a solid pattern. So let's go ahead and invert the vise. If you want to throw some flash in there, now is a good time to do so. This is a chartreuse with a nice gold flash in there. This is going to be a good attractor pattern, but also imitate things like sand eels, silver sides, those sort of common bait fish in the Northeast. This one has quite a bit of crinkle to it, so I'm just going in and kind of pulling out the fibers that are unnecessarily placed or misaligned, and just like we did, I'm gonna cut this right down the middle and double up what we have. Again, get rid of any short fibers that don't contribute to your taper, and we want to size this up to be just about the size of your tail. And with this synthetic, you don't need to be nearly as stringent as you would with bucktail, because you can always trim it at the end of the fly without any trouble. So I've cut that straight, and now I'm just gonna get it locked in just behind that hook eye. I want to make sure that's right on top of the hook shank, or else it won't look properly and won't really swim all that great either. That'll keel it off to one side. But I'm happy with that, so I'll lay a nice head down, get these remaining fibers out of the way, and hit it with a whip finish. Now you have this. With this being a synthetic, you can get in there, clip our thread out of the way, but you can get in there and trim anything that you feel you need to. I'm pretty okay with the look of this fly, so I'm just going to make a few softening cuts here along the tail, and the wing's looking fine to me. That is a synthetic Clouser. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.